every Jamaican who follows football and support the Reggae Boyz could felt a wave of excitement when the final group round for the World Cup qualification was drawn. From the moment we saw the group Jamaica was placed in, there was a sense of celebration. Many of us, including myself, felt that qualification for the FIFA World Cup 2026 was almost guaranteed. And honestly, when things started, it seemed that way. But Lady Luck was on our side even before the group stage was drawn. When it was announced that heavyweights like Mexico, United States, and Canada had already qualified automatically as host nation, it seems like the path was made clear for us. Because as you know that these teams are in the same region as Reggae Boyz, the CONCACAF region. And as we know history, that Mexico and US would have been 1-2 when it comes to qualifying from the CONCACAF region. So with these three teams out of the way, the path seemed clearer than ever before. When we look at the teams that we were drawn against, on paper, this was arguably the easiest final round group Jamaica had ever been drawn into, even when we qualified for the 1998 World Cup. This group stage was far easier. It felt like Lady Luck was on our side, like we have been handed a golden opportunity. So when the final whistle blew and the last game at the National Stadium against Curaçao, and Jamaica did not secure automatic qualification, the disappointment was massive. Supporters like myself was left asking one question: how did we let this slip away? How do we manage not to finish first in this group? Honestly, while it may seem like a mystery at first glance because we were left confused, but when you look back, there were key moments throughout the campaign that ultimately cost us not to qualify automatically. The first major setback came in the away loss to Curaçao. That was a game where, at the very least, we should have secured a draw. Instead, we walk away with nothing, dropping all three crucial points. Then came the game against Trinidad and Tobago. After taking a 1-0 lead, the team seemed to lose focus. The intensity dropped. The urgency that we were playing with at the start, it just faded. And we allowed the opponent to equalize. And from the moment they equalized, from that point on, we never truly regained control of that match. And because we end up drawing that match, it puts us in a position where we had to win in the final game against Curaçao. Nothing less than a win could guarantee us qualification. While on the other hand, Curaçao just needed a draw. A draw was enough. Had we won this match against Trinidad, we would have gone into the match against Curaçao just needing a draw. Instead, we drew the match against Trinidad and had to come into the final game against Curaçao needing a win. Man, it was frustrating to watch the match against Curaçao. Curaçao came with a clear and a disciplined game plan if you watch the match. They knew that avoiding defeat would secure them top spot and automatic qualification. And they played exactly like a team with that objective. Meanwhile, Reggae Boyz and the other, and we look rushed and almost panicking. Chances after chances came, but the composure in previous games were missing. The number of near misses, the shots off the post, the opportunities that just went inches wide told the story on the night. In previous matches, those chances would have been converted clinically. But in that moment, time running out, pressure took over. And once the pressure took over, you could see that we were like drowning men catching after a straw. But you know what? At the end of that whistle, when we realized that we did not qualify automatically, the disappointment was tangible. The disappointment was so deep and frustrating that days after that, I don't think many of us even realized that we weren't going to qualify automatically. But looking back at the game and at the entire group stage, those weren't the only problem. Another key issue we had was selection and substitution. Across crucial matches, there were players who should have started but didn't. And I believe that other players who were introduced far too late to make any real impact on the game. In tight games like those, timing and decision making is everything. All of this combination left a bitter taste in the mouths of supporters. But you know what? Football have a way of offering redemption. Football have a way of offering a second chance. And the Reggae Boyz know we have an opportunity through the playoff route. An opportunity to still qualify for the FIFA World Cup. But in all honesty, the fans are not as optimistic. We are not as bold and confident. We are far more cautious in our prediction. We are far more cautious with our expectation than we were in the group stage, and for good reasons. One, for the lessons that we learned coming out of the group stage. And two, when it was announced that Rudolph Speed would have been the interim coach for these two matches, it further brings division among the supporters. There are those who believe that he should not have been appointed the interim coach. It should have been somebody else. And then there are those who support his appointment. So with that division, it kind of tempered the expectation of most supporters. And come March 2026 against New Caledonia, a win, and days later would face another crucial clash against DR Congo on March 31st. Those two games, with 2 wins, we would qualify for the FIFA World Cup. So we are 2 wins away from the FIFA World Cup. But it is sad to say that we are not as confident as we were. And if you look at these two teams, New Caledonia and DR Congo. These are two teams that are very much beatable. But as we have learned from the previous group stage, that we don't win much distant paper, right? And we can't look at a team and say because they are very much beatable, it's a foregone conclusion. No, we have learned from that lesson. No, coupled with the appointment of Rudolph Speed that bring division among the supporters. And I can say that there will be further division to come. This is not a prediction, I'm not a prophet, but I know that further division will be coming. And with those further division will lead to the supporters not being as confident as we normally would. What is going to cause those further division? Whenever time the squad is announced, within a couple of days, in preparation for these two crucial matches coming, you're going to have division where people are going to believe that we have too many local based players who don't have the experience and the talent, and that we should have more overseas based players with experience and more talent included. Well, those on the other side will say there's too much overseas based players in the squad and we need more local based players because the local based players are just as talented and as gifted and can get the job done even better than the overseas based players. We're going to hear argument that the squad is just not balanced. And I'm sure you're going to hear those. Now, with those things, you can understand why supporters, including myself, would have tempered our expectation until after these two matches. You can understand why we will be a bit more cautious in making our prediction based on these things that we are going to see coming out when the squad is finally announced. Now, if Jamaica qualify for the FIFA 2026 World Cup, most of these noise will be silenced. But if we don't qualify, most of the noise will be amplified. People are going to say, see, he told you that he wasn't the man for the job. He did not bring in the right players. He failed to utilize that player and this player, and that player should never be a part of the squad. So the criticism will be amplified. But you know what? But even with the tempered expectation, even with the lack of confidence, even with the cautious approach, still one thing remains certain. No matter the disagreement, no matter the debates, when Jamaican steps onto the field, the entire nation will rally behind them. That one thing is for certain. So come March 2026 and hopefully March 31st, all Jamaicans will be watching, open and believing. And if we do qualify, the celebration will echo across the island and across the diaspora. That one thing is for sure. That one thing is guaranteed. We will be behind the Reggae Boyz. Win, lose, or draw. But with that being said, let me hear what you have to say in the comment section. Who do you think should be included in the Reggae Boyz squad? Do you think we should have more local-based players or more overseas-based players? Or do you think it should be a balanced squad? In addition, do you think Rudolph Speed should be appointed the interim coach? If not, who do you think should have been appointed the interim coach? So let me know what you have to say in the comment section. And remember, don't forget to like and share this video. And please consider subscribing to support the channel. Subscription is free and you support the movement. So please consider subscribing. And again, as we continue to cheer for the Reggae Boyz, thanks for watching.